Okay, so imagine this. You open up Google Maps, right? And you find a town that, well, it just shouldn't exist. A place that has streets, businesses, a name on the map, but in the real world, no buildings, no people, no history. This is the truly strange story of Argleton, the internet's own ghost town.
So how is that even possible? How can a town exist on a map, but not actually be there on the ground? It's a simple question, right? But the answer pulls you down this rabbit hole into a digital mystery that really starts to blur the lines between what's real and what's just data.
All right, let's dive right in. This is the story of a town that just shouldn't exist. The place was called Argleton, and according to Google, you could find it tucked away in a quiet corner of West Lancashire, in England. You could search for it, zoom right in, even get directions straight to its digital front door. It was there. And we're not just talking about a name dropped on a map. No, Argleton had a whole life online. You could find weather forecasts for it. People were seeing job listings for Argleton. Even travel sites were suggesting hotels. As far as the internet was concerned, Argleton was a real, functioning town. So this all kicked off back in 2008. A university lecturer, a local guy, stumbled across it on the map. He lived pretty close by, but had never, ever heard of a place called Argleton. So naturally, he's curious. He gets in his car and decides to drive to the location, to see this mystery town for himself.
He follows the directions, gets to the exact coordinates on the map, expecting to see, a small village, maybe a few houses, and he found absolutely nothing. Just an empty field. Windswept, nothing there. No streets, no buildings, not a single sign of life. The town was completely alive online, but totally dead in reality.
And that empty field, that was just the beginning. Because this little local mystery was about to blow up into the internet's very own global ghost hunt. The speed this thing spread was just unreal. It goes viral. Within weeks, online forums are buzzing with theories. Then, the major news outlets catch on, and suddenly you have journalists rushing out to these coordinates, all trying to get a look at the ghost town of Google. And of course, the theories started flying. I mean, what would you think? Was it some kind of secret military test site, hidden from public view? A government cover-up? Or maybe, and this one is pretty chilling, was it a real town that had been erased? Wiped from history, with only a digital ghost left behind? And then, the online sleuths found something. A really strange, really important clue. The layout of Argleton. Its streets, the shape of the town, it was an almost perfect, just slightly distorted shadow of a real town nearby called Ogden. It was like a digital echo, a weird copy. Okay, so this whole Ogden connection, it kind of points to a glitch in the code, right? But the simple, logical answers, they just didn't explain the life that Argleton had somehow created for itself.
So, here's the most logical explanation. The simple answer is that it was a copyright trap. Mapmakers will sometimes stick a fake street or a fake town on a map, so if someone copies their work, they can prove it. It's a classic trick. But here's the deeper mystery. That doesn't explain how Argleton got a life. See, you have thousands of automated bots out there constantly scraping data from places like Google Maps. They see a town name, they grab the data, and they use it to fill out their own websites. These bots don't know it's a trap. To them, it's just data. And so Argleton was born, over and over and over again, all across the web.
Think about that. It was like the internet itself wanted Argleton to be real. A simple error on a map doesn't explain how all these separate systems, weather sites, job boards, you name it, all started generating data for a place that didn't exist. It's like the digital world just collectively decided to create it, to will it into existence.
And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, just as the world was getting obsessed with this digital ghost, it was gone. So after about 2 years in the spotlight, Google just quietly deleted it, sometime in 2010. There was no big announcement, no explanation. One day it was there, the next, it was just gone. Wiped from the map, just as mysteriously as it had shown up. But here's the thing about the internet. You can never truly erase something, can you? The memory of Argleton is still out there. Its ghost still haunts old web archives, screenshots, random forgotten databases, a permanent digital echo of a place that never really existed.
And once it was gone, Argleton wasn't just a weird map error anymore. It became something else. It became a modern digital legend, a real ghost story for the internet age.
And the theories, well, they've only gotten wilder and more unsettling since it disappeared. What if it was a test town, created by an early AI learning how to build worlds? Or what if our reality is a simulation and Argleton was just a glitch, a little corner of the code that we weren't supposed to see? But maybe the most chilling idea of all is that Argleton was a real place once, a town lost to time, whose memory was somehow accidentally resurrected by the data.
Even now, the story isn't quite over. If you go to that spot today, yeah, it's just an empty field. But people who live nearby sometimes report strange things. Their GPS gets all messed up in that area, phones will suddenly drop their signal for no reason. It's almost as if something is still there, some lingering digital interference from the ghost of Argleton. All of this makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you ask a much bigger question. Maybe Argleton wasn't a mistake at all. But maybe it was a mirror, a reflection of just how fragile our idea of real has become. This whole thing proves that with just a few lines of code, the digital world can literally invent a place, and our world will start to believe in it. Our reality is being rewritten, line by line, in data.
And that leads us with one last kind of haunting question. Argleton is gone, but its story, it's a warning, isn't it? It makes you wonder, what other ghosts are out there? What other phantom places are hiding in that endless ocean of data that we swim in every single day? Just waiting for someone to find them.